Yeah, I look way more red on camera in this lighting. I'm not this red, guys, promise. Hi.
Hey.
It's just picking up red on camera, but we're not red.
No, I think it's from the pictures.
Hey friends, hey guys.
Yeah, I remember last vacation, kind of got reamed.
Oh, we got more than reamed.
Which we haven't been out in the sun much.
No, we really haven't. Now we're justifying our looking red on camera. It's totally fine. Hey friends, welcome back to this channel. Welcome to this video. We are officially on vacation and you'll be seeing a vacation vlog, but it has been, 4 days?
I think so, yeah, about 4 days.
We've been here 4 days and it's been an adjustment period, so the vlog will be a little bit later. So we thought we would sit down and talk about things because I did make a video yesterday, like a Instagram reel. And it was just like talking about normalizing present, or I think it was present fathers, is that what I said? And I don't know, I asked you guys over on Instagram what you would want us to talk about. So 95% was like, how are things going between you and John after having a second child? And like, how are we as a couple are doing? So
there's ups and downs. I mean, it's definitely not, hi buddy. It's definitely not everything's great, it's grand, you know what I mean? It's stages. Like, you and I have tried to make time for each other with different things. You know, we give each other grace too, because we know sometimes it's frustrating dealing with child or children, right buddy? I
think we learned a lot from parenting Ella, and because John and I experienced a lot of hard times when we first became parents with Elle. Relationship struggles more than anything, I would say relationship struggles, and then like the struggle of power, not power is a bad word, but like it's a power struggle sometimes when it comes to parenting. In the middle of the night, you're both trying to do something.
More of a balance is what I would say, not power.
No, but like we used to argue in the middle of the night because you would be trying to do something to help and I would be trying to do something to help, and it's like very counterproductive, and that was a lot of our struggle.
And guys, this is going to be like a podcast format.
Yeah, because we have this guy.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. And we've done more of an adjustment where you handle the overnight stuff and I take him early, like between 4 and 5, depending on.
We went into having Ev knowing what we had gone through with Ella and like what our areas of concern were as far as us making sure we would be okay. Remember I texted you, I was like 38 weeks pregnant, I was laying in bed at night, I'm like, are we gonna be okay? You know, like we have to make sure we're okay.
Buddy, where are you going?
I know.
Wiggle worm. You want me to take him?
Yeah. But I remember texting you and being like, how are we gonna survive this? Because we went through some seriously hard times with Elle, and I think we made a plan, and it's like we knew going into it, like, I'll take Ev at night, you get Ella. Like, we're gonna have to tag team because there are nights that Ella struggles. Like, Ella struggled last night.
Yeah, I went to bed fell asleep probably about 10 o'clock. We're in a room where there's 2 twin beds. And she has her bed, I have mine. And about 11 o'clock, I heard her just moving around to check on her, and she was wide awake, so. And
she's been wide awake since 11 p.m.
11 p.m. She has been awake, so have I.
Bless his heart. And we both, like, Ev had a hard night last night and a harder night the night before, and a really great night the first couple nights. So it's kind of been hit or miss with him. We had a more busier day, him and I, yesterday, but like we haven't fought about you not sleeping last night or me not sleeping. It's like we know we have made a conscious effort going into this phase of life. Like, we're older and we're just trying to make sure we give each other grace and know that we're not going to say everything perfect in the moment, and we apologize. I think that's a big thing, is like we've learned how to apologize to each other.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we still work on. I mean, obviously it's not all the time. We're not like, oh, I'm sorry, but after a few hours it's like, okay.
Yeah, like we know that we're not going to stay mad at each other for something we've said in the dark of night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or out of a tired, frustrated moment, we make an active effort to just try and.
Yeah, and a prime example is, but like yesterday I had a frustrating moment with him because he wasn't sleeping. He didn't want to go to sleep. He was fighting me. And it wasn't anything that you did. It was just more of, I looked too hard into how you were wording things.
Yeah.
And that falls on me.
And I was trying to overly help.
Right. And you know, that kind of, my feeling because of a man's ego is, oh, well, she doesn't think I'm parenting right, or, you know, we jump to that conclusion, which isn't what you felt.
No.
It's just, that's how I looked at it, so.
And I have learned communication, I think, is a big thing too. I've learned things about you and how you react to certain wording or situations where I try, if I can be in my present moment and be like, you don't want to argue, you don't want to, like, because sometimes it's just, there's battles that we as humans will pick for no reason other than you just want to be the right the right one at the time. So sometimes I try and stop and be like, how can we make this good for everybody so that it's quick and we can both come out of this feeling like good about us, because I feel like we've had so many more of those situations lately, and it's making us stronger and better parents. Yeah,
and I mean, we're two different people. You're very, when it comes to our children, you're very structured. It's this time, it's this, it's this, it's this. Where I'm kind of a, like, yes, I want structure in certain cases, but like if Ella chooses, hey, I don't want to go to the beach today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure out something else we can do.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
And I've put expectations on, like, we should go to the beach every day. Like, we planned this morning. And I think that's where we balance each other out a little bit there, is because I am such a structured routine person. And you're kind of like, let's just do what we do and we'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah. It gives me more pleasure being more involved with my children. Because not only it makes you happy, but they get something out of it. Like, oh, Dad's always around. Like, if I need Dad, he's here. Like, that kind of. Are you going to poop on camera?
Seriously? Hi. He's being so cute right now.
Yeah, he's watching us. When you talk, he looks at you. When I talk,
we're talking about you. So it's like, there's what advice would we give people who are like welcoming a second child into their family, like a couple? Because I feel like that's the vibe of like what I got the most of.
In all honesty, give each other grace. Like it's not, sure, those midnight, 2 a.m., waking up at 11, you're going to feel hopeless at times. And you have to remember that you're a team. My advice to dads out there, get involved. Is it exhausting? Sure. Yes, of course. But get involved. Get in there, change the diaper, feed the child, like, do those things.
Wake up and be tired.
Yeah, wake up and be tired. Good one, Lauren.
We're very blessed. We're very blessed because John is able to work from home now.
Right.
And I know that there's a lot of people who aren't afforded that luxury because it is... Okay, you want mama? I know there's a lot of people who aren't afforded that luxury in life, so it is very much a luxury we didn't have with Ella. So it's been a whole new experience.
Now, what I will say is...
Let me grab his bottle.
Now, what I will say is, even when I was working out of the home, I always tried to be involved as best as I could when I did get home.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when Ella was his age, and we were starting her on foods, I wanted to make sure that at least a few times a week I'm feeding her dinner, or I'm giving her a bath, or even just putting her down. Like, I wanted to make sure I was doing that. And I think that stems from not having that, like, not at their age, but when I was younger, was not having that, because Dad wasn't there. My uncle was working by that time. Like, he had to go to work. Yeah, right? He worked overnight. So I wanted to be able to do that for my kids because of that. Makes me feel different, which is good, like in a good way. Like, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. And I'm sure long-term benefits, it'll help them.
It has to.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's like the main goal, is like we want our children to be the most adjusted humans that they can possibly be, learning from our childhoods, even though they weren't bad childhoods, you know. I mean, we've had hard moments, and it's no secret that my biological father is not in my life, and John's biological father was never in your life and passed away before that relationship was ever able to be mended.
Right.
I've watched you struggle with that. You lost, there's a lot that goes into why people are the way they are, and I don't think people understand what we went through, especially if you haven't been here since the beginning of my channel.
And that's kind of why, like, my focus with my channel is a lot of just be kind to people, because there was times I didn't have that, you know, when I needed it. And that doesn't mean not from you, but I'm saying in the outside world. you know, it just try to always maybe just talk to somebody. You know, it's, you know, people may need that. And that's kind of what my focus is on that.
And why you struggle with mental health if they hadn't, John's uncle was diagnosed with cancer. He passed away, and then your biological father passed away a month later.
Yeah.
There's some hard stuff that you've had to walk through, and I think having Ev, you're able to actually be the man that you needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's definitely, that's the perfect way to word it.
Yeah.
Is I'm trying to be what I didn't have for them. Don't get me wrong, my uncle was there, he helped me with things, but he was working constantly. So. And
you learned a lot from him, so a lot of things that you do use in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
You can pass on, and you can do, like, I think everyone's goal in life is to do better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or try and do the best for their kids, and everybody has done the best they can for us. Yeah. And having John home has been a blessing.
And it has. And, you know, I did see somebody with your post say, you know, well, he's home all the time. You know, it doesn't look that way for some people. And that's exactly right. And that's kind of what I was trying to cover there. You know, my uncle did the best he could. He was there. He worked. Being there looks different for everybody. You know, some people are there by taking a job on the road. Your stepfather.
And he was the world's
example.
Best, most present father ever, but he traveled my entire life.
Yeah, I think at that point he was traveling, what, like 300 days a year or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, he gets awards from hotels for spending so many nights.
But that's exactly right. What that person said is true. It looks different. Present fathers look different for everybody.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that your way is right, wrong, indifferent. You just have to tune into what your significant other needs and then what your children need. Are you going to get it right 100% of the time? Absolutely not.
No.
I struggled last night. Like Ella and I had moments where I got frustrated.
Yeah.
Because it was a 5-hour ordeal.
But you got through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you learned from it.
Yeah.
And then we handled a day with as much positivity and grace as we can today.
Of course.
And we're just gonna not set expectations on ourselves. And I hope this conversation is a little off the cuff, I guess, but it's
kind of just us covering,
you know, where we're at.
Yeah.
Having John home has been significantly different for our family dynamic. Him being able to work in his home, an office or whatever, and doing what you need to do.
Right.
Him, even if he didn't have things that you know what I mean? You still contribute. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's some sort of stigma attached to that. It's like,
oh, there definitely, our society puts a stigma on a few things, actually. This is gonna go into a few things, but like a dad that's home all the time, there's a stigma with that, even if they're working out of the home.
Yeah.
Our society and the male ego, they want to put labels on somebody that doesn't go out of the house. And then that transitions into mental health too. People look at somebody that struggles mentally as weak. Oh, they're weak. They're and that's far from the case. I mean, everybody processes things differently. So,
and talking about it, we've learned, has made us happier as a couple, and we're able to understand each other and really try and do better for the kids so that we can raise them to be adjusted.
Of course.
Like,
and for me, I definitely suffered with postpartum after him. And it's not something I really honestly knew about. I've struggled with depression. I've had, I guess you would say, depressive episodes. Like, I don't carry depression every day. I can tune it out. When I do have, like, I guess, lack of a better term, an episode, it lasts for weeks. That's what kind of happened with him, at no fault
of his.
You're right, nobody's fault. It's just I went into like a place of I know you want to eat my fingers so bad. I went into a place of just darkness. I mean, there's no real other way to. I wasn't in the moment. I just kind of existed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the best way to put it.
It's a huge adjustment.
Yeah.
And it's not something you had experienced before. You went back to work a week after having Ella, and you did that grind for 8 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So John was never home. I mean, we got fortunate when we moved back home and you got the job at the city, but that city was toxic. It was a toxic job.
Yeah.
But you were able to be actually home because he was working 14-hour days before that. It was like he was not able to be there the way he is now. And bringing home a baby and having your wife have this awful infection and having to carry the load of 2 kids and a sick wife, I mean, that's a lot to handle.
Yeah, and definitely you handle a lot of nurturing aspects, things like that, for our kids and me, both. But it's, you know, it is hard to see that. And I really feel like when you got your infection and we had to go through that, it was kind of like you start second guessing yourself. Like, oh, can I do this? Like, oh my goodness. Not like
something
not
happened.
like I'm gonna run and leave.
Right.
But like, oh wow, can I raise 2 kids alone? Like, not dramatizing it or being that way, not saying you were gonna die.
No,
I'm just
but it
saying,
was a very scary situation. Like, it was terrifying. And I think it put a lot of things in perspective for both of us.
Yeah. And you can tell when I'm worried about something or scared, because usually if I have trauma, my instinct is to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, I make jokes about having daddy issues all the time.
Yeah, and his jokes are wildly dark.
Yeah. And it's not, that's how I cope with trauma. But in this case, like, it was, I went to a place of, I gotta protect them, I gotta, you know. So yeah, I don't know where this was going, but
well, we're probably going to end it because it's a very long video, but it was nice to talk things out. I think it was good for both of us, especially after the night we had last night. We were super tired. Yeah. But we got through it, and we haven't bit each other's heads off today, so that's a start.
Not at all. And thank you guys for being there. We appreciate all of this, and you know, I'm sorry if this is boring or not what you thought it was going to be. We are enjoying vacation.
We are.
It's good to get away, and the camera's starting to die, so
we're going to share it with you guys, and thank you just for being so supportive of our family and
definitely
what each of us individually are trying to do with our channels and what we are trying to make sure that we're sharing with others. We're hoping that it helps people in any kind of way.
Definitely.
So we'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, you guys. If you watch the baby the whole time, God bless.
Yeah, this
is not intentional. We're not trying to just have the cute baby in this shot. No, this is life right now.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to lay down.
He doesn't want to do anything but just
he wants to scoot his butt. That's what he wants to do, so.
He's saying bye.
Say bye.
Say bye. Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.